Good morning, everybody. At least it's morning. A little bit of morning still while I'm filming this. Welcome to the Cheap Lounge. I'm John Charles, aka Kaiwaza, here in season 5 of the Cheap Lounge. I am having my second cup of coffee just back from church, and before we start, it is the last day of Christmas in July on Moody Mood Music, my hobby radio station. So tune into that if you like the old vintage Christmas records. I'm going to flip the switch sometime at close to the end of today, and we'll be back to our normal beautiful music programming. But I thank everybody for tuning in to Christmas in July. It's been pretty successful. I see through the analytics page quite a number of people tuning in, some of them for literally like 12 hours or more. So thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I listened to it some myself, of course, and rather it's just sort of nice to hear old Christmas tunes in July when Christmas is still far away. Kind of nice. So let's get into the records that I'm going to talk about and show you today. Selections from these have been uploaded onto my hobby station, Moody Mood Music. And after today, you can hear selections from them. First up, very interesting record to me. Johnny Mercer sings Johnny Mercer. Now, when I picked this up a long time ago, I thought, oh, this will be interesting because, you know, I didn't know Johnny Mercer. I knew Johnny Mercer as a composer. That's, for me, what he's always been known as. And I thought, I didn't realize he sang at all. I just didn't know. And I thought, well, this would be interesting, him singing his own compositions. And then once I got it out and started really looking at it, I'm like, you know, I don't think this is Johnny Mercer. Is it? I mean, is this Johnny Mercer? I'm like, the record is 1981. Seems like Johnny Mercer. I don't know. Is that him? I didn't really know what he looked like, and I thought maybe this is just some singer whose name is Johnny Mercer, and he's singing Johnny Mercer compositions just to be, you know, just to do it. Because Johnny Mercer did write more than 1,200 songs, so there's a lot of material. Very, very well-known songs in the genre. He wrote Autumn Leaves, Days of Wine and Roses, Moon River, very famous song. He wrote Lazy Bones, I love that song. And, you know, more than 1,200 other songs. But the thing was, he passed away in 1976, and this record is from 1981. So I thought, well, it can't be Johnny Mercer. So upon researching, I discovered actually it is. This is Johnny Mercer. He did record not a million albums, but he did record a few albums and situations where he would sing a song or two on somebody else's record. I didn't know he sang at all. That's new to me. So, but he did record a few albums. This one was recorded previous to his death in 1976, but it was reissued or re-released in 1981 by Everest. This is a smaller label out of California, and they kind of did a lot of reissues of previously released material. But what's interesting about this for you all, because most of his recorded material where he's singing is much earlier, like from the 40s and 50s, you know, and 40s and 50s mainly. This one clearly is from the 70s because these are a lot of his, you know, very well-known compositions, but the arrangements are kind of borderline disco, some of them, orchestral disco, which I love that stuff, but they were very contemporary for the 70s. These were not earlier recordings. So that's what ended up being of interest to me on this album, is listening to him sing his compositions, but with these very 1970s kind of arrangements. He is not the greatest singer in the world, okay? He's okay, not the greatest singer in the world. So I wouldn't be buying this because you want to, hear a wonderful voice serenading you. It's just interesting to hear him singing some of his own compositions in these sort of very 1970 contemporary sort of arrangements. So there is, by the way, if you come across it, there is another album called Johnny Mercer Sings Johnny Mercer. That's not this. That is one that was put out by Capitol Records, which is a comp of much of his earlier material, not recordings from the 70s. So do not be confused. If you see another Johnny Mercer Sings Johnny Mercer, make sure you check out the contents and know which one you're getting. Johnny Mercer, by the way, in addition to being a composer, helped to found Capitol Records, one of the founding fathers.
When she dances by, senoritas stare and caballeros sigh. And baby, shall we go out skipping? Careful, amigo, you're flipping. Speaks Latin, that satin doll. She's nobody's.
Here's a budget label recording. Don't know the story here. It's called Jazz at the sorry if you hear the roosters. We have chickens here in Hawaii, in Waikiki, free-ranging chickens. And on my street, the past couple of months, many more roosters are appearing, which is okay. I don't have a problem, whatever. But you might hear them a little bit. It's a little bit of a problem when you're trying to do voiceover work and like roosters are crowing, but yeah. Jazz at the Downstairs Club. Kind of an interesting vibe with the picture, right? Little rainbow colors, then black and white photos. I don't know exactly why you would choose to do that, but the Revelers were a well-known vocal group in the earlier part of the century. However, this is not them. This is not those Revelers. These are some other Revelers. We don't know who. It's an instrumental group, not a vocal group. It is polite jazz, and it's very nice. What's interesting about it, though, with the little clip on the back, there is another record called Jazz at the Downstairs Club, also by Rondelette, also by the Revelers. That's a different record. Different table of contents, different songs. I don't know if it's the same group. I've not heard it. I mean, it's supposed to be the Revelers, but these aren't the original Revelers anyway, so I don't even know whether it's the same group that did the first one and the second one. And the question, you gotta love these budget labels. Like, why would you do that? Why would you give it the same name? I mean, why don't you call it more jazz at the Downstairs Club, or let's go downstairs for jazz or something, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But it's even listed on the back here. This is SA 60, Jazz at the Downstairs Club, and then also they have listed SA 50, Jazz at the Downstairs Club. And you're like, why do you do that? I don't know. Uh, 1964, I think this record was 1964. Mitch Miller, Fireside. We love a good Mitch Miller record. The reason I bring this one in particular up is just because of the contents on it. It has three of the songs that just make me cry. I don't know. And I don't know what it is. I get sappier as I get older, but I do love, I guess my grandparents, I grew up around my grandparents and some of their songs even before their time that they liked, that were like their parents' songs, were some of the songs that are on this record that are really these old sort of Victorian, very emotional love songs to people. Juanita is on here. It's so pretty and like, oh, why should we part, or la la la. It's so sad. Oh, Genevieve is on here, which is like, will you? The days may come, the days may go, but still the hands of memory weave the blissful dreams of long ago. I think when you get older, you really can get emotional about the passage of time and thinking about times when you were much younger and how beautiful in their own way they were. In the Gloaming is another one. Oh God. They could, for whatever reason, these two lovers could not be together. They could stay together, so they separated, and that's what the song is about. And just, he says to her, will you think of me, in the future, will you think of me and love me as you did once long ago? My heart was crushed with longing. What had been could never be. It was best to leave you thus, my dear, best for you and best for me. It's just, I have trouble even talking about those songs and not getting choked up. If it had had Long, Long Ago, I wouldn't have survived listening to this album. I mean, that's the other song that I love that's like that. If you love me, could you love me once as you loved me long, long ago? Long I have wandered, blah, blah, blah. It's beautiful. But anyway, and then there's other stuff like Polly Wally Doodle and funny songs. But I literally can sit there and make myself cry listening to those songs and get so emotional about them. So TMI, there you go. The Hilltoppers, I just mentioned this one because I'm not crazy about this record, actually. The style of it, it's kind of I don't know, almost like the Ink Spots or something. But vocal group, I just mention it because it has one of my favorite orchestra conductors, a guy who ended up being an orchestra conductor, but who started out singing with these guys, Billy Vaughn. I love Billy Vaughn so much. His orchestral music, particularly the twin saxophone sound that he developed, I love all those records. So I was curious to hear him performing as part of this vocal group, which is how he did get started. He has a solo or two on here, quite a nice voice, but not particularly my kind of music necessarily. I was curious to hear him. Love Billy Vaughn music.
Ask thy soul if we should part. Nita, Juanita, lean thou on my in the gloaming, oh my darling, think not bitterly of me. But all in all, I can't complain. Was it dusty on the train? Yeah.
Now, talk about being blown away by something. John Gary, Spanish Moonlight. I like John Gary. It's not like I have any special, whatever with him. Nice voice, nice records. It does mention on here that he had recorded previously a little bit of Heaven, which was Irish songs, and you knew I have that somewhere in the stacks. Haven't listened to that one yet, but The guy's British island descent person. You figure, yeah. Oh, sorry. The guy's a British descent person, so, you know, you figure he's going to, British Isles, he's going to do a decent Irish theme album, but Spanish, you know, Spanish songs, whatever, like, not something you would, wasn't something you associate with him. When I saw the album, I'm like, really? That's kind of, I don't know how that's going to be. But wow. He doesn't even speak Spanish, although it says on here his wife and brother-in-law helped him, because he does sing in Spanish, help him with the lyrics and pronunciation, because they grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And the assumption there is like, if you grow up in Albuquerque, New Mexico, you speak Spanish. Now, maybe this was true in 1967, which is when this album was from, but I'm like, dude, I don't think so. I've been to Albuquerque plenty of times. Like, there's a lot of Spanish stuff around, like, yeah, Spanish language and whatever, but I don't think everybody that lives there speaks Spanish at all. Just saying, you know. But wow, this album blew me away. It's so pretty. It's so beautiful. Like, his singing on these songs is absolutely gorgeous. The arrangements, which were Marty Gold, are terrific. Guantanamera, it's so beautiful. I mean, it's a sad song anyway, and it's just so pretty. Even the original composition, Spanish Moonlight, absolutely gorgeous. I think there's a rendition of Poinciana, which is a song I really like on here. And I have to say, I think this is my favorite vocal rendition of Poinciana that I have ever heard. It's absolutely exquisite, and it kind of goes up in scale as the song progresses. It's just gorgeous. I had no idea this album was going to be that beautiful. Who knew?
Do you remember? And your eyes threw a kiss when they met mine. Now your arms blow, tropic wind, sing a song through the trees.
I'll just quickly mention this as one that I had no expectation for, didn't think, you know, one way or the other anything about it necessarily. Blown away, absolutely beautiful. Brothers Four loved their renditions of these Beatles tunes. Some nice innovative arrangements. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Likewise, we have discussed these people before, the Singers Unlimited. Oh my gosh, they can just do no wrong. Feeling Free, absolutely an incredibly beautiful album. Amazing talents these guys have. Singers Unlimited is kind of in the category with Anita Kerr singers to me. Like, they just are ethereal. They can do no wrong. If we see one in our budgety price range, we're gonna get it.
I'll pretend that I'm kissing the lips I am missing and hope that my dreams will come true, come true. And then while I sat on a rug, biding my time, drinking her wine, we talked until 2. And then she said, it's time for
Like I said before, I'm camping at your door, I'm shadowing you. There'll be no escape, I'm getting out of tape and video too. In Venice, I'll be a mess.
as time goes drifting by, the willow bends, and so do I. But oh, my friend.
Then finally today, let's talk about one of the kings of the easy listening world, Mr. Mantovani. The Mantovani, well, it just says Mantovani Orchestra, the legacy, the Mantovani Orchestra. No picture or anything. Now, this is a curious record, brings up many questions. It's from 1980. If you look at the the track listings, it's definitely 1980. Like, these are songs of that time. The Way We Were, One Singular Sensation from the Broadway musical, Don't Cry Out Loud, MacArthur Park, Manhattan Skyline, which was a disco salsa kind of song, Copacabana, Barry Manilow. So these are not like songs from the 60s or whatever. These are 1980 songs. But Mantovani passed away in 1980, and he actually was not active. I think 76 or 77 or something was his last actual time conducting or recording anything. So, but he passed away in 1980, and this record is 80, and this record is from 1980. So, common sense tells you couldn't have. This can't be Mantovani, actually, and it isn't. It's an interesting story with Mantovani. He had a really long career, and he recorded more than 50 albums for real, which is a lot. Had many hits, albums, and even hit singles at a level which was somewhat unusual for a easy listening orchestra. Love song for Moulin Rouge, Around the World, Cara Mia. You probably know all those songs if you heard them, if you don't know them by name. Very famous for the song Charmaine, which is where we get his signature sound. The signature sound of Mantovani was the cascading strings. It's a beautiful sound. I suppose it would drive you crazy if somebody did an entire album of nothing but cascading strings. You'd be like, stop it, after the fourth song or something. But I love it. I do love that effect. And most all of his albums featured some amount of tracks that featured the cascading strings. This one, I think, only has one or two examples of cascading strings on it in a very limited way, not very much. And like I said, obviously, this can't be Mantovani himself. So his estate, I don't know who all was in charge of this or whatever, but as far as his estate goes, they did sanction. There was a lot during the CD era, a lot of reissuing. I mean, most all of Mantovani's catalog has been reissued on CD in one form or another, either whole albums or compilations or whatever. Lots of Mantovani and his orchestra music. They also did, the estate, authorize some recordings past Mantovani's death by other orchestras using the name the Mantovani Orchestra. You see something by the Mantovani Orchestra, not Mantovani and his orchestra. If you see the Mantovani Orchestra, that's AD. That's post-death Mantovani music, okay? But authorized, And he had some arrangements of some songs that he did not record, that they recorded. Mantovani Orchestra, maybe these were them. These might be them, I don't know. But anyway, there were some arrangements that were never recorded of his that they did record after his death as Mantovani Orchestra. Then there were other things that were reissued and whatever, and they used the Mantovani Orchestra name. There also are unauthorized recordings out there of the Mantovani Orchestra that are not associated with Mantovani or his estate or whatever. They're kind of not bootleg, but what do you want to call it? Undercover, not legit. Just people cashing in on it and figuring, sue me, you know, whatever. I have these orchestral recordings. I can slap any name on them I want to, and, you know, I'm going to call them the Mantovani Orchestra and put it out there, and that apparently happened. So I know I have a couple of CDs of some Christmas stuff that some of the tracks are the Mantovani Orchestra, and I know for a fact they are not the Mantovani Orchestra. Clearly, I mean, they're cute, but they are clearly not anything Mantovani would have done or authorized. So yeah, that stuff is out there. So you never know. But if you're seeing something that says the Mantovani Orchestra, it's definitely not. It's AD Mantovani. It's after death Mantovani. Otherwise, it's Mantovani and his orchestra. Always, I think they always use that. But this record is a branch of Audio Fidelity, which is a well-known label, Amberjack Records, 1980, and a lovely album. I really enjoyed this album. Very lush in the way that you would expect a Mantovani album to be, but, you know, very limited cascading strings on it. But I would venture, I don't know for a fact, I would venture this is a legit authorized Mantovani Orchestra recording, and we liked it. So that's it, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Cheap Lounge, Season 5. I don't remember what episode we're on, whatever. Time just keeps going on. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any of these recordings or any thoughts about these artists or topics, whatever that we're discussing today, please leave them below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with anybody you know that likes this kind of music. I know there's only like 12 of us in the world or whatever that still like elevator music. But I live for it. I love it. Love my Hawaiian music, love my elevator music. Yeah. And I love the new age stuff too. Some of that with the singing with the dolphins and all that kind of stuff. I have a radio station for that too, Radio Green Goddess. So if I think, I'll link that below as well. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a good day. Hope you enjoyed Christmas in July. And we'll see you in the next video.